Hello everyone, welcome to another Awakening Beauty contemplation. As always, before we start, I would like to invite you to grab one of your favorite drinks, tea or coffee or a glass of water, and join me for a contemplation about the story of Rumi and Shams, their divine love. And we will also look into some of the works of Rumi that he created after experiencing this divine experience with Shams. For the ones who are familiar with this channel, you might already know that Rumi is one of my dear spiritual teachers who has been guiding my path quite a long time. I've already done some contemplations about him, and I can provide the link in the comment section for the one that you can find under the poetry playlist. But this one is going to be slightly different. The inspiration for this contemplation is coming from my upcoming presentation to Awakening Beauty Circles, the digital community that I've been leading. In that we share what brings beauty into our lives. And my definition for beauty is it's the eternal dance of unity of our diversities. It's the opening of our hearts to the diversities of life, to the diversities of our humanity. The inspiration for this presentation is coming from all the beauty Rumi brought to my life through his quotes, through his poetry, through his music, whirling dervishes. And I just want to dedicate this presentation to his soul for the love that he made me feel and for the love that he is inviting all of us to experience. For the first time in this presentation, I will share my screen and we will see whether we can add some presentation mode into our contemplations for the future. I hope all goes well. See you on the other side. Rumi. This is what is written in his museum. If you had the chance to go to Konya, where he resides in Turkey right now, come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, yet again. Come, come. Even in this, I think you can feel his openness to all of life and his belief and trust in us, in humanity, to come to the union that we are searching in this life. So who is Rumi? Rumi is 13th century Persian poet. He is also known as an Islamic scholar or theologian. His name Rumi, which is widely used name, especially in the Western world, is actually coming from the land that he resided in, which is known as modern-day Turkey, the eastern side of Turkey, or the Asian side of Turkey, which is known as Anatolia. In the ancient times, this region was called as Rum. So Rumi means coming from Anatolia, coming from Rum. And in my region, in Turkey, he is known as Mevlana, which also means the master and represents what he meant for the people who have been following his work. And like I said, one of the important things about his soul, his work, is really how it transcends national borders, ethnic divisions, and how he really helped us to feel the unity, regardless of where we come from, regardless of different nationality or language that we might be arriving to his wisdom. And these are some of the pictures from my recent visit to Rumi's tomb in Konya a couple of days ago during the pandemic. And if you had the opportunity, I would definitely recommend you to visit and still feel the vibrational space that this lovely place can make you feel. Okay, this is a story coming from a book written by another Turkish author, Elif Shafak. The name of the book is 40 Rules of Love. It's a fictional story based on some historical facts, so we might not really know whether there is truth in this or not. But I guess this is also well aligned with the mystery and magical approach that we see in this divine love that they share. So I felt some resonance in the story. I just wanted to bring it into the space for you to understand the Sham soul and who he is before he met Rumi and how they actually met together. Shams, in his native culture, Persian means sun, and he was actually the sun, bringing so much light and awakening to Rumi's world. And before they met, Shams is also like a wanderer, and he is going through his life as a nomad, exploring the world and having a challenging time to find his equal. And along his journey, one day he asked one of the dervishes who had an opportunity to foresee the future where he can find his equal. He asks, I'm searching for the one who can understand and challenge me spiritually. And in his question, the dervish senses Sham's intensity and deep longing and recognizes the extraordinary nature of his request. But before responding, he asks Sham, what are you willing to give for this meeting? And Shams, without hesitation and with absolute conviction, replies, my head. This is deep. It's deep because in this story, the head also represents our rational thinking, our mind, our limitations that can sometimes limit our connection to the heart. So, in a spiritual sense, giving your head to someone really means surrendering to love, humbling yourself for love, knowing that it can change you, acknowledging that it can kill your personal ego. And after this reply, Shams receives the answer from the dervish who reveals the fact that what he is searching for is in Konya, in modern day Turkey. And Shams makes his way to Konya. And here's a beautiful story that reflects how they met and how they knew that they had been searching for each other for long. I'm just going to read this one. In the marketplace of Konya, amid the cotton stalls, sugar vendors, and vegetable stands, Rumi rode through the streets surrounded by his students. Remember, Rumi is a teacher. He is a spiritual teacher in Turkey, teaching his wisdom. Shams caught hold of the reins of his donkey and challenged the master with two questions. Who was the greater mystic, Bayazid Bostami, a Sufi saint, or Prophet Muhammad? Shams demanded. What a strange question! Incomparably, Muhammad is greater than all the prophets and saints, Rumi replied. So, why is it then that Muhammad said to God, I didn't know you as I should have, while Bayazid proclaimed, Glory be to me, how exalted is my glory? Ask again, Shams. Rumi explained that Muhammad was the greater of the two, because Bayazid could be filled to capacity by a single experience of divine blessings. He lost himself completely and was filled with God's blessings. Muhammad's prophet's capacity was unlimited and could not be filled. His desire was endless, and he was always yearning. With every moment, he came closer to God, then regretted his former distant state. For that reason, he said, I have never known you as I should have. It's recorded that after this exchange of words, Rumi felt a window open at the top of his head and saw smoke rise to heaven. He cried out, fell on the ground, lost consciousness for an hour. Shams, upon hearing these answers, realized that he was face to face with the object of his longing, the one he had prayed to God to send to him. When Rumi awoke, he took Shams's hand, and the two of them returned to Rumi's school together on foot, secluding for 40 days. Says the story. This is how they met each other and how, through the questions, they were able to see their inner essence in the mirrors of their souls, and they were able to recognize each other. And because of their deep connection at the heart level, at the soul level, they spent the next 40 days together, which created so much jealousy within the community of Rumi students and Rumi's family. And the story ends with another unknown that makes Shams disappear. And in this version of the story that Elif Shafak talks about, he really gives his hat for Rumi. Of course, this is a story, no one really knows what happened to Shams, but if there's one thing that's clear through Rumi's work, it is how this connection transformed him from a mindful theologian, a religious scholar, to a pure lover. He made the transition from his mind to his heart through the sound of Shams. There's a YouTube story actually that I'm happy to link. It's about how their story transformed both of them. It's just a couple minutes, and instead of sharing them, I will be linking this for the ones who would like to dig deeper into their story instead of reading the book. And next, I would like to share a couple of the wisdom that emerged from Rumi after he lost Shams in physical terms. And just to give you a sense of the emotions that he has been going through when writing this, I'll be playing the traditional Sufi music along the journey. What you seek is seeking you. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. 1,000 half-loves must be forsaken to take one whole heart home. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They are in each other all along. Goodbyes are only for those who love with their eyes, because for those who love with the heart and the soul, there is no such thing as separation. Yesterday, I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I'm changing myself. You have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. The wound is the place where the light enters you. If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? Don't grieve. Everything you lose comes round in another form. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. Let the beauty we love be what we do. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. And this is actually a beautiful transition to whirling dervishes, which is a tradition that emerged with Rumi. For the ones who are not familiar, there is a beautiful YouTube video that can show you a modern reflection of what it means to do this dance. And I will be linking it once again in the description. And the music that you hear in the background is actually coming from this beautiful dance. So you might already feel some resonance. But what is this dance? It's a dance for connecting with that universal divine love through your body. It's embodying the universal ecstatic motion of life dancing within you. And as someone who loves ecstatic dance, which means getting into this ecstatic mindset without anything external, any external substance, just purely dancing through your body, through your heart. This may be to think about Rumi as one of the influencers for the modern ecstatic dance. To me, he has been actually the father of ecstatic dance. While he didn't himself invent ecstatic dance as a modern dance, like you can see through his teachings, through the practices, I feel like he might have inspired this kind of sacred ceremony as a way to connect with that divine light in us. In the traditional terms, this dance is named as Sema, and it has a couple important characteristics for the ones who might not be familiar with it, for you to understand how it really transforms us into this ecstatic feeling. The first one is whirling, that circular motion of the dervishes, and it symbolizes the revolution of planets around the sun. It's the cyclical nature of existence, of life. And it also symbolizes the human being's journey towards perfection, towards purification, towards that divine union energy. The second thing is the positioning of the hands. Right hand up, left hand down. And right hand facing upwards means receiving divine grace, divine love, compassion. And through the technology of our bodies, through the circular motion, we bring that divine energy, channeling from right to the left hand, facing downwards. And we channel that energy to the earth, to our humanity, to our fellow human beings. And of course, one of the most important dimensions of this ritual is music, what you hear in the background. The melancholic sound of the ney symbolizes the soul's longing to return to its origin, while the drum represents the divine command. And in this union, you just surrender. Surrender to the fluidity of life, to the purity of divine love. You just let go of your head and you travel from the longest distance from your head to your heart through this dance, through this ecstatic motion. And this really helps us to see us in the mirrors of divine God, divine love, universal consciousness, whatever you might name it to be. For this session, I didn't really select too much of his poetry, but there's one special one that I have already included in the poetry contemplation, and I would like to end with that. A gift to bring to you. You have no idea how hard I have looked for a gift to bring to you. Nothing seemed right. What's the point of bringing gold to the gold mine? Or water to the ocean? Everything I came up with was like taking spices to the Orient. It's no good giving my heart and my soul, because you already have these. So, I have brought you a mirror. Look at yourself and remember me. We started with his invitation, inviting us to come, and I would like to end with the same invitation. I know you are tired, but come. This is the way. Come. This is the way. I hope this little small introduction to Rumi, his story with Shams, his divine love, his invitation inspired and ignited some love and beauty in you too. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you being the embodiment of the beauty that we can co-create out in the world together. Till next time, remember your beauty.